evening, folks, and welcome to Cooking with Dan Leslie. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Huff. I will be your host this evening in Dan's kitchen with Dan.
What's up, Janet? Hey, Greg.
How are you?
Hey, Dan. Alrighty. What's going on? So what's cooking? What are we doing here?
Okay, looks like chicken.
Yeah, I was gonna. I had a Super Bowl thing going. I think it was Super Bowl. Yeah, that's right. And I had a bunch of things I was gonna cook, and I wanted it. You can do with shrimp or anything else. And you hear. I wanted to do this in place of chicken wings, I guess. I'm not, I mean, believe me, I don't know about everybody else out there, but I've had my fill of chicken wings over the years. My kids still love them and stuff, and believe me, a couple cervezas and the right mood and all, I'll be knocking down a couple dozen, but I gotta admit, they are fatty and ratty, and I'm just sick of it, you know? So what we're gonna do here is I've set up a little makeshift deep fryer, a pot with oil, I guess, is what it is, and all right, so we make this blackening mix here, and I was going to add it to some breadcrumbs. We make our own little breadcrumbies here.
That's the best way, homemade.
Yeah. We just bake them off a little bit. You got to be careful not to bake them too hard in the oven. It'll gets that burnt flavor to them, and then you're there. Why the hell did I even bother? You know, it's the worst thing in the world. Why did I bother after taking an effort to do something and then butchering it? What we're going to do with this, I've been dying to try it, is to cut the chicken up into strips. I'm going to add some of this Cajun mix here to the breadcrumbs. I've got a little bleu cheese over there.
Oh, good.
So this is going to be my answer to the wing ding.
Nice.
The only problem I have is that your shrimp would probably be better because they have the tails.
Oh, right.
You know? And it's hard to do for a large group. The wings, actually you could do these ahead of time maybe and put them in like wings on a little cookie sheet or something in your oven and sizzle them up a little bit.
Now, with shrimp, do you keep them in the shell when you do that?
No, just the tail that you can grab on the end, you know.
Sometimes if you deep fry the shrimp, with the shell on it, it gets kind of soft, and you can eat that too.
Right, yeah. So I don't know how I made this. So I guess I want to make it. It's supposed to be spicy here. You can have it plain and stuff like that.
No,
but
plain is no good.
Right.
It's boring.
But I've never had this like this. Have you? I mean, it's not some. We're not reinventing the wheel here, but I think this might taste okay. No?
I think so.
All right, I'm going to turn up our little deep fryer. Let's see.
I'm ready to try it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is these chicken breasts. Normally you get them in from the store. You're going to have half what you see right here. Right. You're probably going to get something that looks like this. So we're going to trim it up just a little bit. Get some of these fattier pieces off. All right, so now I'm going to figure out if I'm going to tap a little of this. Okay, this is the thicker end. I guess I could flatten that a little bit to get it more like the rest of it. You rat, you son of a... So you didn't cook my favorite dinner.
Therapy.
This is therapy. You're right.
God, I'm having fun and I'm just kidding.
Right. So I'm looking to make these a little thicker than thinner. Okay.
Okay.
How do we want them longer strands? I'll go this way with it. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Go like that.
Now that looks good.
And we're going to bread these up. See, if you make them too thin before the fryer, before the thing crunches up a little bit, I don't know if we're going to get them crunchy or not. Of course, once again, we're trying something on our show that we've never done before. But
a little crunchy is not bad. I like a little crunchy.
Right. But the thing is, I was just thinking some wacky retort to what you just said.
Oh,
but
don't even say it.
But
you can tell me later.
But you want them to have it a little bit thicker. You don't want to thin these out too much because before the breading gets crispy or anything else like that, they're going to be overcooked, and you want to take them out. I don't have one of those candy thermometers that tells me that it's at 375, so we're going to take a wild guess. Okay, let me sneak around here.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is put these in some flour, an egg, and then this mix of the Cajun and the breadcrumbs, and we'll see what happens. So what we'll do is we'll maybe let these cool off a little bit, and we'll all try them, and hopefully save a few for the viewers outside. All right. So we did these. I'm hearing that I'm forgetting this is a variation of like a popcorn shrimp type of thing, except it's with chicken. Hopefully this isn't going to be too hot. What I'll do is I'll throw a few of these in for us to try. Lord knows how long to cook this stuff. It's been years since I handled a deep fryer. They're moving along pretty well, all right?
Oh yeah, they are.
Yippee!
I don't think it'll take too long.
We'll save a few for out front there with our little blue cheese dressing. And that's right, I'm acting like I'm reinventing the wheel here, and this has been it's been a national item, and Dan's acting like, you know, I put some jelly and peanut butter together on bread. Oh man, I tried it with milk, and I'll have to tell a few people about this. Whoa, Dan, how do you come up with these?
Oh,
All right, we'll try this. Hopefully it's not going to be raw in the middle. I can't let it cook any longer than this. I bet they're going to be spicy though, huh?
I think so.
Maybe I should go to the bar and get a couple cervezas.
Oh, there we go. Make an
That works,
afternoon
Dan.
out of this, yeah.
All right, so here they are. Let them cool off a bit, and then we'll give them a little tasty. I love this. All right, so what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Oh, didn't you say you were going to do a fettuccine Alfredo?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'd like to see that.
I mean, you see these Alfredo sauces now. They're being done 9,000 different ways. Got some tomatoes here.
Nice.
Put these over here for a second.
Okay.
Got some fettuccine.
Nicely
I'll dip in the
blanched.
water here.
Okay.
Just cooked it off a little bit. But this fettuccine, I mean, you're seeing it all over the place. I guess the original recipe, which I'm pretty sure was, I'll get somebody to write in saying, Dan, you're out of your mind again. But I thought that the original recipe called for light cream, not heavy cream. And I guess I'll put it in the big pan just so I don't make too big a boo-boo. But it called for light cream.
Really?
And like you see, today's recipes, I feel like you see a little bit of butter in there. You see heavy cream.
Very heavy
And everybody's
cream,
adding
yeah.
the chicken to
Heavy
it,
cream.
and this with like the Caesar thing. Whoops, I lost my little dressing here. We'll leave it on for a couple minutes, I guess. But we'll change it after this dish. But I've got some light cream here, not heavy cream. And I guess I'll put the whole thing in here. And that's a pint. Swish. But what they did is they had, we have some Parmesan cheese. We have some butter. Where the heck the butter go? We've got some pieces of butter. We're going to add a lot more butter than you think to this, than you were usually accustomed to. And rather than white, I guess the original dish was a little more yellow, because to counter the lightness of the cream and to bring it together without it being like mud, they used egg yolk.
Oh, okay.
And they stirred that in. And I'm going to add a little, we have some Romano cheese here. I'm going to add very little in, but I feel like that Romano, I don't like to use that as a primary ingredient, but you know, sometimes even our Caesar salad dressing calls for Parmesan. We use about 3/4 Parmesan, 1/4 Romano, because it just gives it that jump. You put too much Romano in there, it's just too sharp a flavor as far as I'm concerned. I'll sneak these over here whenever Janet feels comfortable. Maybe she
I was
can
going to say, I'm going to
try one
kind
of those or something,
of
see
sneak
how they're
one
going.
of those. Yeah.
And I'll change this after the fettuccine dish, but we'll bring the cream up. I did par cook the fettuccine before we got going on the show here. I haven't been working with fettuccine that much. I think I'll add a little salt and white pepper. Again, we can put the pepper mill on top of this later. But I'll tell you what, this mix of ingredients, the butter, the cheese, the pepper, even though they're all dairy and stuff like that, there was a lot going on there that originally people weren't saying put some shrimp and chicken and all that stuff in it. I guess once you got down to a cheaper cheese that took a year and a day to melt, just heavy cream, a minimal amount of butter, you know what I mean? It got to be, hey, let's kick this up a little bit. And
Right.
I'm not sure, but I see that possibly being where the whole deal went. I could even put that in now. The fettuccine is pretty hot. I'm just worried about it sticking too much. I don't want to put too much pasta in because I don't have any more light cream to add to it. So we'll overdo the sauce a little bit. I can always, you know. All right. So really, I mean, this, oh, you know what I forgot? Doggone it, I forgot to put the butter in. That's got to go in first. I'm thinking of some something that I did wrong here, and that's the butter. Well, the butter is softened a little bit, so we're going to put a lot of sweet butter in here. I'm sure you can use salted if you... Already I put too much. Doggone it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little skim milk, but I did put too much fettuccine in there. I'll be right back, folks. You can see that I just have too much fettuccine for the amount of cream. I'm just going to add some skim milk to this, just to loosen it up. It's a dairy product, and you know, that's the worst I did in the cheating department. All right, so you can see that's a little looser. All right, so I'm going to bring that up to a boil. I might even, you know, because I've got to allow for the cheese, and I've got to allow for the egg yolk going in there. They're going to
Oh, that's...
They're going to bind that thing up like...
pull it together.
Yeah, forget it. Forget about it. So once this comes to a boil, that's the end of the dish. That butter's in there. Once the egg yolk gets in there, it's going to have a lot thicker consistency. So what's going on with these over here? While we're waiting
I don't
for it?
know.
Let's
I was
sneak a
going to
piece
say,
here.
you know, I am going to sneak a piece.
Why don't you try a little of that bleu?
Ooh. All right, we're going to do this together?
Is it cooked, I hope? Pretty good.
I like that.
Spicy. Zesty. Why don't you see if Greg would like a piece of one of them there things?
Greg, you want one? Oh, one of them there things? Here, we'll put this...
Look at it all the lens of the camera.
See that hand begging for one.
All right, so we got the salt, the pepper, the light cream, and the butter. Could be a little hotter, I think, right? And it's to a boil. It's hot enough, for crying out loud. So what we're going to do is toss in a couple of egg yolks. We did toss the egg back and forth, so we took the egg white out, and we did put it into that breading mixture we used for the chicken. I'm also going to add a little Parmesan to the top of this. This is nice.
That's going to be nice.
High-grade Parmesan. I'm going to take a little swisheroo of this Romani cheese. That one British guy kills me when he talks. This pasta, the naked chef, I think he is, that guy. He's a piece of work, he is. Well, unlike me, of course. All right, so we're going to stir this all in, get that egg moving around there. The cheese, you can see this is starting to come together. You don't have to have glue, you know. I'm glad I added that skim milk there.
Oh, that's a nice consistency.
It's a nice consistency. All right, I'm gonna take that out, and that's basically it. I can garnish this with a little color. I've got some chives here and stuff, but that's what we're looking to get there from that light cream, the egg yolk, the Parmesan. I put a little touch of Romano. And on top of this, I probably just want a little simple peppermill on top.
Small portion, but we're almost.
Oh, that's nice and creamy.
Creamy and dreamy.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Hey Dan,
Yes.
The chicken's a winner.
Chicken works, right?
That is really nice.
Delicious. All right, you know what I'm going to do, I think, just to mess with a recipe that's been around for centuries. Maybe I'll take a few of these chives that I have here. And where's some of that paprika I have? Little paprika mix I have.
There we go.
Put that on there like that. I'm going to put a little chive action.
And that's going to be a great finishing touch.
Yes, scallions. Could put a little parsley too, but this will give it a little zip.
Nice.
There we go, and then we have a little Fettuccine Alfredo from Roma. I'm going to do a, I guess it's a little early for the tomatoes, but the tomatoes are starting to work up the coast a little bit. And the Joyce's aren't here yet, of course, since we're taping the show in June, but you know, I'm just thinking of a fresh tomato sauce that you know, you can serve on your deck or something like that, and whether it's you can maybe cook some chicken shrimp ahead of time, grill some fish or something, and serve a pasta dish, and you can almost serve it. You know, it'll be real good hot, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of pressure on it being hot. Also, I think it's one of these where there's so many vegetables and stuff in it that you should serve it maybe not room temperature but warm. So what I did do is I just blanched these tomatoes in hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done this before on the show when we made a salsa bruschetta type item.
Right.
And what we're going to do is just, you can see I split them a little bit, just drop them into some boiling water to get the skin off it. Come off in
Really
2
nicely.
seconds.
Very
And
nice.
we're just going to quarter and chop these tomatoes coarsely. And we're going to get them in a pan. And we're going to eat them. No, we're going to we're going to take the seeds out and stuff. And then we're going to toss them around on the pan. I'll do one of these on camera. We'll turn the camera off, get a lot of this done, so you're not going to be bored with that. And hopefully I'll, you know, in which time I'll probably say the wrong thing again and have another ethnic slur on the camera. But all we're going to try to do is work these seeds out of the tomatoes, chop them coarsely, and then we're going to work them in a pan with a few other items.
Okay, so we're just kind of finishing dicing the tomatoes.
Right. We got rid of those, most of the seeds. There's a few hanging around. They won't kill you. So a tomato grows in your stomach. Big deal, right? Tree grows in Brooklyn. A tomato grows in your tummy. Come on. A little extra chop here.
Okay. I'm going to be a happy chef.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. So what we're going to do then is get a little garlic started in a pan.
Oh, nice.
Nice
Love
tomatoes.
that garlic.
Love that garlic.
Oh,
Clean
they're
up
nice
here.
and ripe.
I know.
Love that scent. Fresh
Yeah,
tomatoes.
very
Nothing
nice.
like that, is it?
Very nice. Here's some garlic we peeled up.
Okie dokie.
We get a little of olive oil going. We want a nice olive oil for this dish. So we have two things in play here that the fairer side of America sometimes doesn't work too well with. And that's the whole garlic and the olive oil are going to be eaten in the pan. They aren't going to be taken out like watermelon seeds. So I can park this over here somewhere. Get it out of
Didn't
the
you
way.
say you swallow those?
Yes, I actually do. I get so sick of it sometimes, you know. I get sick of. I'll put the olive oil in a minute.
Yeah,
But
we're
we're
not gonna swallow these slivers, are we?
Again, I'm not going to give it this look. I don't want this. And then chop it and knock some of the oil out of it. I don't like that. I like the way this cooks up. I've done this a number of times on the show here. I should name this dish after my buddy Salvatore Dulce, the Dalai Lama. He's back from Florida. He's taken over the gin rummy game. I keep score. He needs to audit the score pad every 3 seconds. Give me the pad. What's going on over there? You're stupid. You can't keep score. All right, Dad. All right, so I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan. We're going to name this the, I don't know what we're going to name this. We'll figure something out for Uncle Sal. Once again, I'm going to take my pasta. I have some penne here, and I'm going to get it into the water. I want the water, most of the water off of the dish. Okay, we par-cooked it. We're going to send it in some boiling water. We have our garlic here, and you know, you can see there aren't that many tomatoes here. There's a lot of garlic. We're going to kind of get this going light brown, and this garlic is part of the dish.
Okay.
Also, it's going to be in the summery variety, so I've got some vegetables here. I have some asparagus. I have some of this corn. I did grab some frozen corn. I didn't cook it off and shuck it. It's just whole corn. I love the color it gives, you know. You get a little accent there. I've got a little basil, parsley, oregano, dry oregano here. Maybe some of these chives could get involved, but the main thing is going to be the pasta, the garlic, the olive oil, and the tomatoes. It's a tomato sauce with an accent. We'll add, let me drain a little bit of this water off of the tomatoes. We'll toss those right in there. It's a lot of garlic, I realize, folks, but this is what we're doing with the dish. Okay? Now everything else is cooked pretty well. I'm even doubting those mushrooms in here.
Or just keep it simple?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Put a little
thinking,
bit of
the
the
old
asparagus?
Yeah,
Are you going to put the corn in there too?
yeah.
A little bit.
We'll go
Well, then let's
mushrooms.
just-
Bag the.
Let's just go with that.
All right, we'll go a little. We'll bag the artichokes anyway. So we're going to cook the tomatoes down a little bit. Going to add a little salt and pepper. I'm going to add the white pepper because we can put the black on top at the end. The black is just going to color this a little more than we want to do it. I still can't forget that one guy calling it that sissy pepper, the white pepper.
Oh, that's right. I
Jeez.
remember that.
Johnny Macho.
Yeah.
Jesus. So we're getting there. We're going to take some of this asparagus, throw those in there. It's like a summer pasta in the Italian mode. That's enough green, I think. Going to add our yellow in. Trying to go colorful here.
There you
We don't
go.
want to dominate the tomatoes though. Everybody's got its proper place there. A little salt and pepper. I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I'm not
No,
gonna.
I don't think so.
We got enough color, enough action. We don't want to take away from the garlic. Maybe to give it a little extra jump, I'll throw just a smidge of basil in there.
Okay.
Not too much, as basil can take over. All right, the flavor will come out real quickly with it. That's the accent.
Ooh.
We'll get a little of that in there.
Nice.
I've got a little dried oregano here. Very, very little. Very little. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's it. Just an accent.
And that is fresh basil.
That's fresh basil. I intentionally cut the asparagus a little coarse. I think we're kind of there.
I think
So
you're right.
before we serve it, I'm going to take a little vinegar. Just a little touch in there. Balsamic variety. Looks like already looks like I put too much of that in. I'm going to butcher the dish at the end with the all right, I've got a nice round plate here. I'm going to toss some of this penne onto the plate. Again, this is all salted already. All right. And like I said, you got some grilled swordfish hanging around. You drop a little of this in a big bucket, you know. It's got some summer vegetable look to it. Some herbs.
Some herbs.
Yeah. Got that olive oil in there. That garlic. Boy, it's nice and garlic.
Oh,
you
it
know?
is. Well, you know we like
So,
garlic.
That's right.
Love it.
Get some of that moisture, and we can leave the rest for another day. But I don't know what we're going to call this. We'll
great
name this
dish.
after Uncle Sal. Il Duce.
Healthy.
This is
And fresh.
Penne alla Dulce right here.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us in the dining room as we wrap up what we did in the kitchen this evening. We were just talking about how good those were. Those are really, that's half of what we had in the kitchen, by the way.
Quarter keg of beer later. We're stumbling all over the place. 90.
Great day, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are we slurring our words
Siesta
yet?
time. Right. Hey, Your Honor, man. But yeah, we did our little reinventing the wheel here. Our hot chicken fingers. Hopefully that'll take the place of a couple of these chicken wings anyway.
you
If
go.
I have one more wing, I'm going to be clucking.
Well, they're not as messy either,
No.
which is great.
Yeah. But yeah, they're maybe a little hotter, but they're pretty good, right?
Yeah, they're hot.
Excellent.
Oh, they are.
We had
They're super.
that Fettuccine Alfredo, the one developed in Roma, but the combination that we had there's a lot more butter in there, and there's a lot that heavy cream. I mean that light cream rather than the heavy cream. We had the Parmesan Romano combination, and we stirred those egg yolks in there. That was an event unto itself. But like I said, I feel like cheaper cheese, just heavy cream. People started, maybe the dish started calling for, grilled chicken and stuff like that. So, and then of course to finish it off, we have the pièce de résistance, penne à la dulce here. After Uncle Sal, the kitty's pal, we've got the fresh tomatoes, the garlic, the extra virgin olive oil.
That was so nice.
Got a little bit of the fresh corn and an asparagus, basil, the little accent of the balsamic. It's a really nice summer dish. A little grilled fish with that or something.
Oh, they're all nice summer dishes, and the great thing about it is they don't take too much to prepare.
Oh.
So, not a lot of time in the kitchen.
No.
Means more time out on the grill. Picnic,
Yep, there.
drinking,
Somewhere else
whatever.
too.
Yeah, somewhere else. Sure. Well, folks, thanks again for joining us this evening. Please have a healthy and safe summer, and we will see you again next week.